Wesley Tucker, our field specialist in ag business based in Polk County, will give us a little bit of a market update, specifically what's going on with slaughtering and the packing plants. And then he's going to get into the coronavirus food assistance program, which there's a lot of interest in.
We've been talking about this each week to give you guys kind of a real quick update. We are making progress on slaughter volumes. Yesterday, we actually broke through 100,000. I think we slaughtered 101,000 head yesterday, looking to probably break about 530,000 total this week. So we are making progress the correct direction. That black line you see is our 6-day moving average. And so we are improving. We are going the right direction. We still have a long ways to go. We are not even back up to full capacity, not to mention all of the animals that we have backed up. But the good news is prices are continuing to improve, all the way from finished cattle all the way down to feeder and calf prices are continuing to tick $2 or $3 up this week. So that's looking really good. The coronavirus food assistance program, the regulations came out this week, and so there's been a lot of talk and a lot of questions about that this week. Realize that there's about 16 billion approved for all of the different commodities, and so people are concerned, well, what if, is this going to be on a first come first served basis? So the thing that they are doing to try to make sure that everyone gets their payment is your payments will be limited to 80% of the payment that gets calculated, that we're going to talk about here in just a moment. Initially, you'll get that end of that total payment, and then after everyone has had a chance to sign up, if there is still money available, then you will get the remaining 20%. But don't be totally afraid that if I'm not the first one to call, that I'm not going to get to participate in this program. I'm just going to show the livestock numbers since we're on a livestock town hall. But basically, the way these payments are going to work, you're going to receive one single payment that is based on two things. Number one is the number of animals and their classification that I sold from January 15th to April 15th. I'm going to get a payment to help raise the price of what I received of that product to help make it whole because prices were depressed during that time period. So for instance, that first column of payment rates, it says CARES Act payment rate. If you sold feeder cattle less than 600 pounds from January 15th to April 15th, you're going to receive $102 for every less than 600 pound calf you sold during that period. If the calf was over 600 pounds, you're going to receive $139. If you sold a finished steer, a 1,400 pound finished steer, you're going to receive $214. And then slaughter cattle, such as, maybe you sold a slaughter cow or something like some other kind of mature slaughter animal that went to slaughter but was not actually a fed finished heifer or steer, you're going to receive $92. So that is the payment to try to compensate for those depressed prices during that period, January 15th to April 15th. But the other part of the program, that last column, is you take your highest inventory number of livestock that you had from April 16th to May 14th, and you're essentially going to receive $33 a head for every one of those animals you received. And this is compensation to help adjust for the additional costs that people have had during this time of maintaining animals longer, holding them over. So essentially, it's one payment, but based on two different things: the number of animals I sold from January 15th to April 15th, and the number of animals that I still had in inventory from April 16th to May 14th. So one of the biggest questions I keep getting is, well, what does this mean? What do I need to do? Do I need to go out and rush out and sell my animals right now so that I can collect a payment on it? See those dates. Those dates are all in the past, are already beyond previous to this. So it does not matter what you do from this point on. Your payment, that maximum that you will be able to receive, is set. Let's look at a real quick example just to see how these payments will be calculated. I'm always hesitant to put a dollar figure in an example because that doesn't mean that's the dollar figure that you are going to necessarily receive. But I think as we walk through the numbers, it helps people see how the calculation comes about. So let's say you are a 100 cow beef producer that calve roughly half in the fall and half in the spring. So let's say you have 40 head of calves, fall calving, your fall calving cows that were on the ground that you sold during the period of January 15th to April 15th. So you sold 40 head of calves that were less than 600 pounds. Because of the depressed prices during that period, you are going to receive a CARES payment rate of $102 per head for every one of those calves that you sold during that time period. Let's say you sold 5 cull cows that would go to slaughter during that time period as well. Because those prices were depressed, you're going to receive a CARES payment rate of $92 a head for each one of those cull cows you sold. So for the CARES, you're going to receive $4,540 for those 40 head of calves and those 5 head of cull cows that you sold. But remember, our payment is based on also the number of animals that you still have in inventory, your highest inventory numbers between April 16th and May 14th. So you still have your 100 head of cows. And if you're already done calving, maybe you already have 50 head of baby calves that are out there on those cows that calved this spring. So you have 100 cows. You will receive the CCC payment rate of $33 per head for those, and those 50 head of spring calving babies that you have out there, you will also receive $33 a head for them for $1,650. So those add up to $4,950. So you add those two together and your total payment rate is $9,490. You would receive 80% of that payment up front and then possibly 20% of it a few months down the road. But that's a quick example just to show what a producer might be able to receive depending on if they sold animals between January 15th and April 15th and based on the number of animals that they still have in their herd currently. But you do not have to worry about, do I need to run out and sell something now or change something? It's basically already determined what your maximum payment will be. Basically, what you need to do now, you cannot sign up until after the holiday weekend. Farm service agencies been getting inundated with calls. They can't take appointments until next week. So starting next Tuesday, you can call and ask for a phone appointment, or you can actually go online and download the form if you want to and fill it out yourself and sign it and mail it into them. There's going to be a lot of information coming out about this. We're going to have some more videos and things coming out later today. There's a Farm Service Agency already has a payment calculator video out there. We also have ag business specialists on campus and scattered throughout the state that are here to help you with this. If you have questions and specific instances that you want to ask clarification for, again, realize that Farm Service Agency, they are still shut down partially because of coronavirus as well. And so they can't take face-to-face appointments. Your appointments will be made over the phone, and a lot of things will be handled electronically. If you're used to participating in Farm Service Agency programs, this program is probably going to be fairly seamless. If you've not participated in their programs before, then you're going to have a few more additional forms to fill out to get yourself signed up there. But it's going to be relatively easy, I think, in the long and short of it, to sign up for this, and it is going to mean some change for producers. So make sure, as I said, we're going to have some more information coming out of about this later today and tomorrow. Please try to get as much of this information to your producers as you can.